this up. Call the meeting in order to the agenda, Oromocto County Council regular session Thursday, February 20th, 2025, 5:31 p.m. at the Oromocto Municipal Building. I will call for a mover for approval of the agenda. Councillor Kirkbride, seconder, Councillor Daw. Questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. I'll ask for any disclosure of interest or conflict of interest. There is none. Move down to my mayor's comments, and they'll be very short. February heart stroke month, so and their color is red for the heart. That's why I'm wearing red tonight. So support that. I've had many relatives. My father, my brother, and my other brother had stints put in, but they all died young, and cousins. And my mother-in-law just had a couple strokes this last month. So it's dear to my heart. So I just wearing the red for the morning. All right. We'll move down to the adoption of the minutes of the Oromocto County Council in regular session, January 23rd, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. at the Oromocto Municipal Building. I'll need a mover, Deputy Mayor Mamuni, seconder, Councillor Whalen, or Councillor Henry. Questions? All in favor? Contrary, motion carried. There's no petitions, presentations or delegations. We're moving right down to councillor reports. We're going to start with the CRs, the Capital Region Service Commission report. For the month, starting back in January, since our last council regular session, was the 24th of January. That was the session we had at the Fredericton Delta. Council Von Richter attended with me on the Friday. It started at 8 p.m. and we got done around something after 1. Special guest was newly elected local government Aaron Kennedy, and we spoke, and then we had a chance to ask questions and talk to him. And then we had each community had a chance to a 5-minute talk on their communities, and I mentioned their wellness and health center, so that went over well. The next thing, we met on January 30th for the audit committee meeting, and it was the auditors. It's McMillan and Lawrence as the auditors for the service commission, and they were there and went over the audits, and I guess the audit was in good standing. Then we met on the 2nd, it was our monthly meeting on the 2nd of February, which is the monthly meeting. Then we met on, we had a Zoom meeting on Public Safety Forum on the 5th of February. It was an RCMP report, and then the Regional Fire Department Association was there, and Jody Price and Harry Farrell from New Maryland, they ran that, and they did a really good job, and then people asked questions, and it went over really well. So then February 6th, which was the next day, I'm on the Public Safety Committee meeting, so we met to discuss the public safety the night before. And then right after that, I'm on the Oversight Committee, so an hour after that, we met at 1 o'clock to discuss any oversights that we were having, which there isn't very few. Then the Governance Committee, which was today, met at 2 p.m. And I got home at 4 today. So that's all I have for the RC. And now we'll talk Councillor Dodd, Community Development Committee.
Thank you, Worship. Yes, there was a Zoom meeting on Tuesday, February the 11th. And through the agenda items was updates, mostly all updates. Lisa Morin from the Economic Social Inclusion Committee, she gave an update on the things that from Essex that we've been doing, or they've been doing to inform us. Then Carrie Bedford from the Capital Region Resiliency Committee, she did an update on what's going on there. And they had actually a workshop today, which I had planned on attending, but was unable to. And then Lisa gave a update on the 8 initiatives, project initiatives. The Capital Region Service Commission has defined 8 initiatives and coordination of 5 events promoting collaboration and asset sharing, raising awareness for connectfredericton.ca, hosting Tamarack Institute and person training for nonprofits, hosting a workshop on social connectors with researcher Lynn Roulette, meeting members of community living with disabilities in partnership with social inclusion diversity committee, enhanced partnership with faith-based organizations, grant writing courses for nonprofit, and undertaking regional transportation study. Those are the initiatives they've identified. And the next meeting for our committee is scheduled for March the 11th.
Any questions or comments, Council? No? All right, we'll move to the Economic Expansion Committee with Deputy Mayor Mooney.
Thank you, Your Worship. We also had a meeting just on Tuesday of this past week, on February the 18th. I did forward to all of you that presentation on Tuesday. It was from Juthia Consulting. And it was all focused on how populations have migrated, have changed over the years, how different industries are increasing and decreasing. And the whole point of the presentation was it was to act as feeder information to the commission as they prepare to put together Vision 2030. So they're putting together a strategy of how to create some economic development in the region. And this was one of their pieces of information that they have, that they are using.
Questions or comments, Council? All right. We'll move on to 7B, the Oromocto Healthcare Committee, which would be me again. We met February 10th at 5:30 here, Council Chambers. Linda Spicer, who was the co-chair, stepped down, but she's going to still remain on the committee. She's just busy now doing other things, and it's getting in their way a little bit. Nicole Tupper, who was the other co-chair, she said that she would take over, and we only had a few there at the meeting. There was only 7. So when we're trying to get everybody up for a full meeting and who's not going to come out, because it's been real sparse since November. So we were going to ask everybody individually if they still want to be involved in the committee, and if not, we'll reach out to get new members. But she said she would take over as chair. New Maryland and Arcadia, but Gagetown, their medical clinics both closed. The doctors left them, so they don't have any. So they're looking for doctors, and they offered their clinics for us to send our doctors if we hired any there, and I don't think that's a good idea. So. Horizon Health is going on a new initiative, and that's to have the open clinics with different processes. And they're working on open extra hours in the OPH, but it's not official yet, and they haven't known exactly how they're going to do it. But it'll be open till you'd have to be out by 12, but no more. They wouldn't admit anybody after 10 o'clock. But so hopefully that'll be a good blessing. So. And the next meeting is March 17th at 5:30 right here. Okay. We'll move on to 7C, the Planning and Advisory Committee with Deputy Mayor Maloney.
Thank you, Worship. We did meet on the first Wednesday of this month. There was only one item on the agenda, and that was a variance that was asked for at a location on Nevers Road to locate a second living space for an elderly parents that were needing some help and support. So that was approved by the committee.
That's it.
That is it.
Any questions or comments, Council? All right. Move to 7D, the Recreation and Tourism Committee, and there was no meeting. Okay, thanks. We'll move to 7E, the Age-Friendly Community Advisory Committee. Council Mayor. We'll move to 7F, the Climate Action Zero Carbon Committee. Council Carr.
There was no meeting in January.
Okay. We'll move to 7G, the Library Committee. Councilor Dodd.
Thank you, Your Worship. The library met on Tuesday, February the 3rd. And it was a slim agenda, but still had things to do. Judy Wheaton, who's the chair of the committee, shared updates on the trustees. updates that she gives us, and that LP Fisher Public Library is celebrating their 110th anniversary. There's a library in Woodstock, and I didn't even know what it was, but it's quite interesting when you go in and check it out. And she's encouraging people to go and attend that 110th anniversary. This is in a beautiful old building right on Main Street.
And that's the same building they had.
Yeah. And of course, the library always does fundraising and uses their money wisely, and they just spent $1,000 to purchase some new books. So they rotate their stock. And we're going to have our annual plant sale again, May the 31st. And the director gave her report for January. I'll just highlight a few things. They had special programs, including Frostable Sliding Party, hosted by the library, needle felting, and the Galleria painting workshop for adults. And they had the New Year's Eve party. And for everybody who knows me, I always critique, and I emailed her back and I said, Kirsten, did you have a spelling error on New Year's Eve? She said, no, it's noon. They had an event that ran till noon, and they did all kinds of activities during New Year's. So she got me. Yeah. Because we all know that there was a mail strike, and the Canada Post was slim. They had a slack and rotating and filling the needs of requests for the patrons who wanted to order books, and if it's not in stock, they bring it in. I was really surprised how many bins that they fill per day. And these bins are not small. She said they typically receive and send about 6 bins of mail a day. I said, a day? She said, yes. So the library has a lot going on. That's what I always say, that people aren't aware, behind the scenes. So of course, with the postal strike, there was a reduction in service, but they also, people traveled in from Fredericton and other places to come and pick up their books. They will be holding a competition for a second on-call library clerk in February this month. As of our meeting, the person was not hired. And they also updated the public internet was upgraded to fiber optic. To offer faster and more reliable internet service. It's all still running lots of interesting programs and thinking of new ways to bring in, the public.
Right up. Any questions or comments, council? All right, we'll move to 7A, the Oromocto Area Chamber of Commerce, Councillor Dunn.
Thank you. We met on February the 12th. We went over the Oromocto Chamber of Commerce website. We had put out tenders, I guess it is, and they accepted the quote from MCG Media, and they will provide our technical support and updates. And we're also investigating the ability to accept online credit cards payment as well. We know it's possible. We just want to ensure that they can do that for us, because we're realizing more and more it would be easier if we had that. Then we don't like to handle the cash when we have our big events. We like to have the businesses pay in advance, and we're thinking that this might help a lot. We have discussed it previously, but now that we've got the MCG Media doing different things, we're going to see if they can't do that for us. There's a new member referral program, and it's the board. We reviewed the member referral program guidelines and moved to implement the program for a 1-year period. And following the guidelines, both the referring and referred business will receive $25 in old dollars, since we have the old dollars. It's just another incentive that someone brought up, and so we've accepted that. And then the BAG, that's our Business Awards Dinner. It's going to be held on May the 1st down at the Hazen Center. And we are so pleased that this year's keynote speaker will be Brigadier General S.M. Carson, CD, the commander of the 5th Canadian Division out of Halifax. The tickets will be $100 per person. And the Chamber is offering local business sponsorship opportunities at the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum levels. And we're also accepting nominations now for small, large, and new business awards. This evening, we have our social after hours, at Avales Veterans here in Oromocto. And our next meeting is March the 5th.
Any questions or comments, council? Okay, we'll go to the last one, 7I, the Oromocto Pioneer Gardens Cemetery Committee with Deputy Mayor Moody.
And there was no meeting, they are still shut down for the winter and will not be meeting again until April.
Perfect. All right, we'll move on. There's no consideration of bylaws. There's no unfinished business. So we'll start with number 10, new business. We'll start with 10A, the Economic Development Plan with Deputy Mayor Mooney.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be it resolved that the economic development plan by night to council on Wednesday, February 12th, 2025, I be accepted, I so move.
Call for seconder, Councilor Kirkbride. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 10B, Workplace Violence and Harassment Policy Amendment with Councilor Henry.
Thank you, Worship. Be it resolved that the workplace violence and harassment policy be amended as presented to council and committee on Wednesday, the 12th February 2025. I so move.
Call for seconder, Councilor Murdoch. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 10C, the Code of Conduct Respect Workplace Policy Amendment with Councilor Von Victor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be it resolved that the code of conduct / respectful workplace policy be approved as presented to council and committee on Wednesday, 12 February 2025. I so move.
Call for a seconder. Councilor Carr. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 10D, the Water and Sewer 5-year capital plan with Councilor Murdoch.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be it resolved that the 5-year water and sewage capital plan, as reviewed by council committee on Tuesday, 18th February 2025, be approved.
Call for seconder, Deputy Mayor Mooney. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. And the last one, the Municipal Capital Board application, the Oromocto Regional Wellness and Recreation Center. Councilor Carr.
Excuse me, thank you, Your Worship. Be it resolved that the municipality of Oromocto submit to the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board an application for authorization to borrow for a capital expense for the following term and amount. Purpose, recreation and cultural services, amount $17,500,000, term 20 years. I so move.
Call for seconder. I'll put your hand all at once, Councilor Henry. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. I call for a mover for approval of the agenda. Deputy Mayor Mooney, seconder, Councilor Dodd. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried.